I'm Dr. James Whitemore, and I need to interrupt what you think you know about shielding yourself from cancer past 50 because there's a massive blind spot in conventional medical guidance. Your physician isn't withholding information deliberately, but there are five everyday supermarket items that elite oncology research centers have been quietly investigating for years, and these rarely surface in standard clinical appointments. Not from conspiracy, but because nutritional science advances at a glacial pace and your 12-minute office visit doesn't accommodate the depth I'm about to provide. Let me share what shifted my entire perspective. Scientists at Stanford Medical Center followed nearly 51,000 individuals aged 50 plus for over 21 years. The findings were staggering. Those who regularly incorporated specific bioactive plant compounds experienced a 39% reduction in prevalent cancer diagnoses compared to those who didn't. 39%. That's not margin of error. That's not coincidence. That's a pattern demanding our full attention. Here's something that'll catch you off guard. The fourth item on our countdown is something you've probably consumed this month, but I'd wager not prepared in the manner that actually delivers anti-cancer benefits. There's a common cooking error that essentially neutralizes the protective effect entirely. We'll cover that soon, and I guarantee it'll revolutionize your kitchen habits. But first, I need you to do something. Comment below right now with your age and whether cancer has personally impacted you or someone close to you. I read every single comment on this channel, every one. Your experiences guide the content I create. This channel exists because of you, and I want to hear your story today. We're counting down 5 foods, ranked from remarkably effective to genuinely transformative. These are the foods cutting-edge oncology research is celebrating, and every single one costs less than your morning coffee. Let's begin. At number 5, and this shocks nearly everyone, lentils. Not the trendy superberry, not the exotic supplement, just ordinary lentils. And the science backing them has gastrointestinal oncology researchers genuinely excited. Investigators at Memorial Sloan Kettering discovered that compounds within lentils, particularly soluble fiber and flavonoid antioxidants called proanthocyanidins, inhibited colorectal cancer cell growth by up to 71% in controlled studies. Colorectal malignancies rank among the most common cancer threats for individuals past their 5th decade, and the biological mechanism here is remarkable. Think of soluble fiber as sustained release fuel. Unlike simple carbohydrates that spike blood glucose rapidly, this fiber travels intact through your digestive system until reaching the colon, where your microbiome ferments it into short-chain fatty acids. The most crucial, propionate, functions like a cellular kill switch, signaling precancerous cells to self-destruct before they proliferate. Your body possesses this built-in defense system. Lentils simply amplify its power. This becomes especially critical past 50. Aging increases gut permeability, where the intestinal barrier weakens and permits inflammatory compounds to leak into surrounding tissue. Cancer cells exploit this inflamed terrain. Lentils counterattack on 2 fronts. The fiber reinforces gut barrier integrity, while proanthocyanidins combat inflammation at the molecular level. For optimal results, cook dried lentils from scratch rather than using canned. Research indicates this releases approximately 38% more protective compounds. If using canned for convenience, rinse thoroughly under cold water for 90 seconds. Here's the amplification strategy. Cook them with a drizzle of walnut oil. The polyunsaturated fats enhance absorption of those fat-soluble antioxidants. Half a cup, 4 times weekly. That's your baseline. Let me tell you about Richard, a 69-year-old retired engineer from Denver. Both his father and uncle had been diagnosed with colon cancer before 68. Richard was haunted by that shadow. He restructured his diet around evidence-based principles, incorporating lentils into his routine religiously. 20 months later, his colonoscopy revealed results his gastroenterologist called exceptional for your family history. Richard called me from the parking lot, voice shaking. Small adjustments, profound impact. Number 4, and I need your full attention here because we're discussing something linked to reduced risk across 5 different cancer types simultaneously. Pecans. Research collaboration between Duke University and the Anderson Cancer Center found that women consuming roughly 2 ounces of pecans daily, about 40 pecans, demonstrated a 47% reduction in biomarkers associated with ovarian cancer progression. 47% suppression of pathways enabling cancer spread, from something fitting in your jacket pocket. The mechanism behind pecans' protective capacity, particularly in aging physiology, centers on a 3-part synergy. First, pecans contain elagitannins, polyphenolic compounds your gut microbiome converts into urolithins, molecules that research from the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology has demonstrated possess direct cytotoxic effects against cancer cells while leaving healthy cells unharmed. Second, they're extraordinarily rich in gamma-tocopherol, a vitamin E form that research from Purdue University showed can trigger apoptosis, programmed cell death, in multiple cancer cell lines, particularly prostate and lung cancers. Third, pecans contain plant sterols that interfere with cancer cell membrane formation. After 55, your endogenous antioxidant enzyme production drops approximately 38%, and mitochondrial efficiency declines. This leaves cells vulnerable to the oxidative assault that can initiate oncogenic mutations. Pecans compensate for this age-related decline. Consume them raw and unsalted. Heat processing degrades elagitannins and diminishes gamma-tocopherol bioavailability substantially. Here's the synergy move. Pair pecans with pomegranate juice. The ellagic acid in pomegranate and elagitannins in pecans demonstrate multiplicative anti-cancer effects. University of California research described this combination as synergistically superior to individual components. 2 ounces daily, preferably late morning when oxidative stress peaks. Number 3. Asparagus, generating momentum in nutritional oncology journals for over a decade. Asparagus is dense in glutathione precursors, particularly glutamate, cysteine, and glycine. Glutathione is your master antioxidant, and a cancer research study tracking over 142,000 participants linked elevated levels to 34% reduced pancreatic cancer incidence. Asparagus contains asparagic acid derivatives your body metabolizes into saponins. Seoul National University linked these to suppression of hormone-driven malignancies, including breast and prostate cancer subtypes. After 70, your immune system undergoes thymic involution, weakening T cell production. Your immune system normally patrols for aberrant cells. As surveillance deteriorates, cancer finds opportunity. Asparagus contains massive folate concentrations. 6 spears provide nearly 50% of daily needs. Folate is essential for DNA repair and immune cell division. Steam asparagus at 212 degrees for 4 minutes to protect glutathione precursors. Chop and add to omelets, smoothies, or eat as a side. 6 to 8 spears daily. The tip: consume with selenium-rich Brazil nuts. Selenium is essential for glutathione synthesis. And here's that teaser. Number 2 is approaching, and I promise you've eaten it recently. But your preparation method has been obliterating its most potent anti-cancer molecule. Stay locked in. If this resonates, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. I release evidence-driven content weekly for people over 50, completely free. Your engagement helps this reach those who need it. Number 2, cauliflower with a critical preparation caveat. Cauliflower has been studied for glucoraphanin, which converts into sulforaphane, one of the most researched anti-cancer molecules. The NIH called it extraordinarily promising. Oregon Health Sciences University found sulforaphane lowers stomach, lung, and bladder cancer incidence by activating NRF2. NRF2 is your emergency response coordinator. When sulforaphane activates it, cells unleash detoxifying enzymes neutralizing carcinogens before they corrupt DNA. The issue: sulforaphane doesn't exist in cauliflower. What exists is glucoraphanin and myrosinase enzyme. When these meet through chewing raw cauliflower, they produce sulforaphane. But boiling or steaming above 158 degrees destroys myrosinase. You've consumed the vegetable and captured roughly 8% of the benefit. The fix? Before cooking, chop cauliflower and rest 45 minutes. Physical damage activates the enzyme and triggers sulforaphane formation before heat. Then, cook as preferred. Vanderbilt University found this boosted bioavailability over 320%. Cauliflower ranks high for people past 50 because aging brings senescent cell accumulation, cells that stop dividing but won't die, secreting inflammatory signals, creating cancer-permissive environments. Sulforaphane accelerates removal of these zombie cells. Precision maintenance your body requires. I worked with Catherine, a 66-year-old from Seattle, with elevated CA-125 markers her oncologist monitored for 3 years. She implemented dietary interventions with properly prepared cauliflower as cornerstone. Over 18 months, her markers declined. Her oncologist was intrigued. Catherine finally felt control. 4 to 6 cups weekly, prepared with that 45-minute chop and rest protocol. The synergy tip: add horseradish powder after cooking. Horseradish contains its own myrosinase enzyme, and University of Illinois research confirmed adding even a quarter teaspoon to cooked cauliflower almost fully restored sulforaphane production, compensating for heat-damaged enzymes. Horseradish and cauliflower, scientifically validated. Number 1, sweet potatoes. Not exotic, won't trend on social media. But research is so robust, so consistently replicated, I consider it the most critical food adults over 50 consume too infrequently. I'm talking about baked sweet potatoes and beta-carotene. A meta-analysis in Journal of the National Cancer Institute combining 23 studies with over 310,000 participants found elevated beta-carotene intake correlated with 29% reduced overall cancer risk. In highest consumption, aggressive esophageal cancer risk dropped 51%. Here's the paradox: cooking amplifies beta-carotene bioavailability. Unlike sulforaphane, beta-carotene survives heat and becomes more accessible. It's trapped in rigid cell walls in raw sweet potatoes. Heat disintegrates walls and converts beta-carotene into a form your intestines absorb efficiently. North Carolina State found baking sweet potatoes at 375 degrees for 45 minutes increased absorption 68% versus raw. Baked sweet potatoes, puree, even frozen roasted sweet potatoes are more therapeutically potent than raw. For aging physiology, beta-carotene serves 2 functions beyond antioxidant capacity. First, it inhibits NF-kappa B, which elevates with age and stimulates cancer cell proliferation. Second, Tufts University found beta-carotene shields telomeres from oxidative degradation, more pronounced in aged tissue. After 60, DNA repair mechanisms operate less efficiently. Beta-carotene addresses that vulnerability. 5 to 7 servings weekly is the target. A serving is 1 medium-baked sweet potato. The synergy tip: always consume with healthy fat. Beta-carotene is fat-soluble, requiring lipids for absorption. Ohio State confirmed adding fats increased absorption approximately 480%. This is why West African cuisine combining sweet potatoes with peanut sauce correlates with lower cancer incidence. Culinary wisdom and biochemistry converged. These 5 foods, lentils, pecans, asparagus, cauliflower prepared correctly, and baked sweet potatoes with fat, represent where ancestral wisdom meets contemporary oncology. They're affordable, require no pharmacy, and everyone has been scrutinized by legitimate scientists whose citations are in the description. If you're 60, 70, or beyond, you may feel the window for health transformation has closed. The science says otherwise. Studies validate dietary modifications in adults over 65 can shift cancer biomarkers and cellular vitality within weeks to months. It's never too late. The objective isn't merely extending years, It's enhancing vitality, preserving independence, creating more mornings where you wake strong and present for those you cherish. Subscribe immediately, activate notifications, comment. Which food will you add first? Has this changed how you'll prepare any of them? I read every comment. You're not merely an audience, you are the purpose behind this work. I'm Dr. James Whitemore, and I'll see you in the next video.